Hey everyone, this is Dave Cooper, and we are in Las Vegas at the International Builders Show, and I am standing with Tim Seams from Nichiha, and to my left is Audrey Grubasek from Modular SureSite, and we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about Nichiha and the products and what you guys bring to the offsite construction industry, and I'm really excited about it because as I've been learning, Nichiha has been part of the offsite construction industry for a very long time.
That's true. In Japan, a lot of folks know that about a quarter of the construction is done offsite, prefab, modular, and within Japan, about 50% of all projects have Nichiha on them. So you can tell it's a pretty prolific presence that we have there, and so we've enjoyed a lot of experience effects that come with that when it comes to exterior design, interior design, and panels, whether it's volumetric, panelized systems, some sort of componentization. Japan's famous for that. Going back several hundred years, actually. I forget when, but they built a castle in one night. Took 4 months to build it offsite, but then one night they built a castle. And so there's a deep and wide history there. So we're trying to see what's portable to the United States and North American market. Not all of that experience is. But we're finding some really good partnerships, people that are willing to roll up their sleeves, work with us technically, because it's one thing to have a high design, high performance product, cladding material, but it's another to the nuts and bolts of applying it in an efficient manner. And I think that's been the bugaboo of the industry for a long time, kept prices high. And our job is to drive the on-the-wall cost price down. And so we're having a lot of success with that.
So, you're both in the commercial and the residential side of this, and you have a fairly large presence in the commercial side. And I know, Audrey, you guys were kind of talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's really interesting when talking to Tim was really about the colors and the product. Can you give us a little bit of background about why that's so important in the industry today?
Yeah, it's in the United States, a lot of people don't know that we have a large presence with brands like Starbucks and Hilton and Burger King. And while people driving by those might go, well, I would never maybe eat at Burger King, but or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But what they realize is that when brands choose a product, there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and there is a lot of that takes years of planning on our part, on their part, and they're making those choices based on durability, flexibility of design, portability, even a product that can be taken off the wall and put a new product put back on. And so when brands look at those things, there just aren't a lot of choices. Definitely not in our price point. So we have enjoyed a lot of success. So what happens is sometimes is people driving by, they're building a home or they're an architect on a commercial project, they see this, knowing the dynamics of product selection, and go, or even anecdotally knowing it, and they go make that connection. And that's how we've gotten a lot of projects, just because of that reputation.
So tell me a little bit about the value of being able to take a product off.
Well, I think that what's interesting is in Japan, sometimes when they leave their apartment, they'll take the cabinets, the flooring with them. Sometimes they're on lease programs. Well, they do that with wall panels, accent wall panels too. And so that allows them the ability to remove it, take it to their next home, reinstall their cabinets, get some fill-in material, and then they have basically what was their old home in their new home. And the portability from that standpoint is great, but from a design standpoint, but from a facilities and repair and maintenance standpoint, being able to repair something like on drive-thrus or in neighborhoods, people will hit the garage or whatever, while having the ability to just take a panel out of the middle of the wall and replace it without taking the whole thing down pretty easily. That resonates with people that are familiar with challenges of other materials.
I think the other really cool thing that Nichiha does is we were talking about your customer service and service lines to the buyer. So being in commercial and residential building or any type of building, one of the things is how can I get the product? How accessible is it? So that was really interesting. We were kind of talking about that as well.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. It's actually one thing to have a really cool looking product at a decent price point, but I think what seems to be from a customer experience standpoint really powerful for folks is when you have a kind of a high-end looking material that's accessible in less than 2 weeks, pretty moderately priced, no minimums. They can call us. We'll help with the estimate. They can buy it through any supplier and we'll facilitate everything. Accessibility is actually one of our products, product as a service approach, because not everyone does that. And sometimes when you just rely on the distribution channel to do that, it can be a constraint. So we've decided to remove that constraint and do it ourselves.
That's interesting. So let's talk a little bit about, the value of your product moving forward in the market as you're trying to, gain the market share. Where do you see yourself fitting in, Nichiha, into the market? Residential is a big push this year for you, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. From a design standpoint, whether it's traditional, transitional, contemporary, modern, or someone's trying to have contrast or context, because you have you see a few of them here, such a broad selection of sheens and colors and profiles and sizes and formats. What that allows folks to do, because it's all on the same platform, a rain screen clip system, panel and clip system, they can make those changes fairly easy without changing too many of the components on the job. So there's that. Plus another challenge is you have your commodity materials that everyone has. Some markets it might be thin fiber cement or brick or vinyl, and then to jump up to like a Corten steel or Swiss pearl or something like that, you're going from a $8 a square foot price point to a $60 a square foot price point. Well, we're really just moderately priced above that lower price point, but you're getting such a more robust building envelope, high performance, and the great thing. One of the things I really liked about going to Japan was meeting the designers, and they're artisans and engineers. There's this great combination in that heritage of how we started and been successful in Japan. So I think that price, that accessibility, the design options gives a lot of people new choices. The question is that we're working on right now is how do we get that word out and have more direct conversations and interaction with the end user to help them through that process. So that's what we're really focused on right now.
I think one of the things I want to do is I want to show some of these products. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
You're not. I know I'm going to knock down your nice display here.
It's all right.
But look at this, right?
Yep.
I mean, you don't see that by a regular, siding manufacturer or any exterior sheathing, whether it's an interior use or an exterior use. The options are amazing.
Yeah, so what we tried to address is some things like architectural concrete to address the scope of work, the warmth of wood without the maintenance, high gloss panels that would be normally really expensive with a metal panel, or even stucco and EFIS materials. We do a ton of brick. We do a lot of interiors. So let's say if you were going to pour an interior architectural concrete wall, I mean, you're engineering, you're forming, you're pouring, you're stripping, you're sacking, you're filling cracks, or you could just put a panel up on a wall. So over prescriptive construction. So we're just trying to streamline that process from a scope of work standpoint, to add options for basis of design, and then give people in the commercial context, but in the single family world, a value engineered option to commodities. Because let's face it, right now, a lot of $1 million, $2 million homes are using the same materials that are on entry level or low income housing. That's a misfit. So we're trying to be a fit.
Sure. Audrey, you're in a market that is really trending right now, right? With modern builds and all kinds of.
I was going to say, the modern build or modern home we were talking about. The other thing is really cool is the offsite construction, being able to do, these apartment buildings, right? And being able to have these really cool exterior products to give it such depth and creativity and something unique. Because a lot of the things that happen offsite construction, we kind of get this uncreative form, right? But be able to put these pieces on the front and change the design of it is absolutely exactly what we need in the marketplace right now. That's what makes it exciting to be able to do it.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, we really appreciate the support we've gotten from the design community, general contractors, installers, and we're still trying to make all those even easier for them, easy to buy from that standpoint. And then working technically with folks on, with modular offset, how do we handle the transitions? Our technical team will do design reviews. How do we handle those mate lines and plate lines and that sort of componentization, reducing SKUs so that just make it as easy as possible. There was an article on Curbed had about why do all apartment buildings look the same? And it's because they haven't been able to find or apply or have access to something different that doesn't completely blow the budget out. So that's where we're really enjoying a lot of success and made a lot of friends in the industry that way by giving them something that they previously didn't have. So
It is
Yeah,
exciting,
I love
right?
it. I
Right?
do. I love it.
So, listen, Tim, we're going to hang out here with you at IBS. We're going to have some fun.
Live streaming here in a little
We're
bit.
we're gonna give it an attempt, right? Let's make sure we can get our signals up and everything. But we're gonna go live outside, maybe on the showroom floor, and we're just gonna have kind of a virtual roundtable of just fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right? We'll have some fun. So there you have it, everybody. We are in Las Vegas, and we have the opportunity to hang out with Nichiha, Tim Seams, with special guest Audrey Grubesic from Modular SureSite in Denver.
You guys are awesome. This is really fun.
It is fun, right?
you.
And you can expect to see a lot more from us. So what do you say, Audrey?
It's awesome. Thank you. This is so super exciting, and I think it's so ingenious to be able to be in a place in another format in a huge environment. So it's awesome.
So there you have it, everybody. Dave Cooper Live. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada at IBS 2020. Nichiha, Tim Seams. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
We'll,
guys.
we'll see you next year.